So what inspired me to take my current career path? The thing that I think is the most important would be my faith. I felt that I was called to do what I'm currently doing. I was called to start Fit Connect. I was called to embark into entrepreneurship, and I'm proud of myself that I answered that call that I felt in my life. When I was working, I worked for the railroad in operations for about 8 years, got a master's degree in supply chain management in order to, keep looking for things to achieve. Wanted to get into sales. I got into sales in LTL as an account executive, got promoted to regional sales manager in truckload, got promoted to a regional sales director in drayage in technology sales as well. But through all those different roles, I always wanted to, have, a greater purpose. I wanted to be of greater service. What do I consider to be my biggest accomplishment thus far? My faith is number one, there's no question, but then my family would be number two. I don't know. I think that, I think family enriches life, and it makes it sweeter, and it can make it more challenging, but it's crazy because the bigger the challenge, the greater the opportunity. It's like lifting weights. Sure, that weight could be heavy, but the heavier the weight that you can lift, the stronger you become. I think after Clayton that I started to really find who the heck Jordan Bond was. But Clayton allowed me to develop a lot of close friendships, develop a lot of ups and downs, and for me to gain a lot of experiences, about life, that makes me, I think, very relatable to this day. Because of those experiences, but I always, I'm like a broken record. So if I believe in something, if I like something, I just keep coming back to it. Another aspect of Clayton that prepared me for the real world was, sports. For one game in particular, I think it was my senior year on the football team, we were playing against Borgia. Just being fired up in the huddle. And then I can remember going back out on the field, and I can remember making a pretty big tackle that, I think that ultimately helped us win the game, but it was a stop that we needed at the time, and I can remember Coach Mike Music pulling me over and saying, hey, I could tell by the look in your eyes that you were gonna make this, you were gonna make a stop. I went to a Catholic school up until 6th grade, and I don't know. There was definitely black folks at the Catholic school as well as in Normandy. But then coming to Clayton, it was different. Because maybe it was because it was the city kids as well. But I was thankful for it because it immediately I found friends. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times as African Americans, or just people who are minorities, let's say a power structure, we feel as if we have to code switch, but then, when you're with black folks, just people you just automatically feel naturally comfortable with, there's no code switching. You just you develop a automatic level of comfort, and being black at Clayton, but yeah, it was all good, Clayton, Clayton was a great place. I think regardless of race, I think Clayton, was a great opportunity, a great school to come out of, so I'm thankful. My advice to black students would be, take a page out of Martin Luther King's book and keep God first. If you have that spirituality, then, as my pastor says, we're spiritual beings having a physical experience. That would be helpful in dealing with any type of trials and tribulations. Would be just simply to cooperate as much as possible with your peers. Cooperation is what makes humans special. The ability to cooperate, to have commonalities. So find commonalities with your fellow African Americans, black folks, but then beyond that,